Hey y'all, welcome to Little Acre Homestead. My name is Rowan and it is my favorite time of the year. It's seed starting time. I love this time of year because it means that winter is almost over and I'm going to be out in my garden soon in the longer days and the warmer months. I'm so excited. In just a second, I'm going to take you through all of the seeds that we started indoors for this growing season, and at the end I'm going to talk about our setup. But for now, let's get started. I just love starting seeds. There's something so satisfying about filling the trays with dirt. We use a seed starting mix and just getting your hands dirty and putting in the work to grow new life. The way that we decided how many of each plant we would start was pretty simple. We started tomatoes and peppers today, as well as some flowers. And for the tomatoes, we've got 5 total beds. That's a 4 by 8 foot bed. And we're doing 8 plants total for tomatoes per bed. So what we did for the varieties where we have 2 types of tomato plants per bed, we started 6 of each plant. So we've got 6 ground cherries, 6 yellow centiflores, 6 large red cherries, 4th of July's, Everglades, and Tomatillos. And then for Amish Pace and the Super Steak hybrids, those are the 2 types of tomatoes that we're kind of planning to use a lot of. I know I've said that I don't like the way Amish Pace tomatoes taste, and that is very true. But we do plan to do a lot of canning this year, and those really are the best tomato for canning because they aren't as watery as some of the other varieties, and they're not small like a cherry tomato is. So I'm sucking it up and growing a lot of them, hopefully. For the Amish Pace and the Super Steak hybrids, which we're going to use for things like burgers and sandwiches, we did 12 started plants each. And that was just for the math, really. Each row of these trays, each vertical row is 6 cells long. So each variety got its own row, and then Amish Pace and Super Steak both got 2 rows. Now with the peppers, the math was not quite as straightforward. So we have 12 varieties of pepper that we started, and we're growing all of our peppers across 4 different beds. So we've got 2 beds that have 17 slots basically for peppers, and then the other 2 have 19 slots for peppers. So the varieties that we're growing are the Anaheim, the Lemon Drop, Sugar Rush Peach, Banana, Poblano, Carolina Wonder, the California Wonder, a Serrano, an Orange Spice, and a Lemon Spice Pepper, and then the Pumpkin Spice Pepper. Those are 3 of my favorite. They're jalapenos. And then finally the Shishito. I almost forgot to plant the Shishito actually. So what we are doing for those is starting 10 Anaheims, 7 Lemon Drops, 12 Sugar Rush Peaches, 9 Bananas, 14 Poblanos, 6 Carolina Wonders, 5 California Wonders, 7 Serranos, and 7 each of the 3 jalapeno varieties, and then 6 Shishitos. So that gives us the amount of those plants plus 2, and it's the same for the tomatoes except the Amish Paste and the Super Steak hybrids, the amount that we plan to plant plus 2. The math worked out really well for us. At the end, I had an entire tray plus I think 5 or 6 left over, so I ended up planting nasturtiums, and I am hoping that those nasturtiums get a great head start. We have 4 to 6 weeks before these plants will be transplanted, so they'll get that big head start before the flowers go into the garden. I grew nasturtiums, I think it was last year, and I just direct sowed them in the garden when we transplanted the tomatoes and the peppers, and that was fine. They ended up growing, but they only bloomed a little bit. They got shaded out by the other plants that were much more well established, so I'm hoping that this gives them more of a fighting chance. Nasturtiums are a great companion plant for tomatoes and peppers. They are a natural pest deterrent, and they keep hornworms especially away from tomato plants, which is fantastic because hornworms are disgusting. They were one of the worst pests that we've had over the last 2 years. 2 years ago, they took out a ton of our tomato plants, and then the previous year, I know that we had at least one because I saw the damage of it eating the leaves off of an entire branch of one of our plants, but I never found it, so I think a bird might have gotten it. Regardless, hopefully these nasturtiums take care of some of that for us. And also we do plan to plant some basil as well. That's another strong companion plant for tomatoes. Now basil, you'll notice I did not start any here. I haven't talked about it at all. I have never succeeded in growing basil from seed, so I'd like to give it a try, starting it under our grow light setup. But this year what I'm going to do instead is try propagating live plants and see how they do. Hey y'all, let's talk about our grow setup. What we found that we've needed over the years to make an indoor grow setup successful for us is some type of grow light, a consistent way to water, and having our setup out of the way of our cats. The first year that I started our seeds indoors, one of our cats ate all of the seedlings, and then I replanted them, and then he ate all the seedlings again. So we start our seeds out in our garage where the cats are not allowed. Our setup is pretty simple. We have a big 5-tier shelf from Costco. You can also get these secondhand at places like thrift store or an estate sale if you're looking to do a more sustainable purchase. We have seed trays that we got at Home Depot. You can also purchase them at a nursery. You can even find them secondhand, also at estate sales. And then we have our grow light system. These grow lights came from Amazon. I don't usually like to shop at Amazon, so if you find something similar, please link it below. I would love to take a look and see if it would work for us for maybe a bigger plan or next year, or if these lights for some reason ever stop working. Each of our seed trays that we have holds 18 seedlings. So with 10 of them total, we've got 180 cells for starting all of our plants for the year. We do have enough space on the shelf to double that amount if we ever needed to expand or we wanted to grow more things that needed to be started ahead of time. But for now, this works really well for us. Each of these trays down here allows you to bottom water your seedlings, which is better for them. It helps their roots get deeper and makes the plant a lot more substantial and more likely to transplant better, to survive transplanting. Now let's talk lights. We leave our lights on from about 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can get an automated system that will turn it on and off for you. We have not explored that yet. I would love to automate that and many other things around our property. And that's really it. We water these 2 to 3 times a week in that bottom watering system. Now, when the seedlings have not yet emerged, we do spritz the top with a water bottle so that they get enough water and they're able to emerge. Once our seedlings grow, we will transplant them outdoors after we harden them off, probably in the 2nd to 3rd week of April, depending on how well they're doing. And then our setup will be converted back to storage until next year or possibly the fall when we need to start more seeds for the next season. What I love about this setup is that it's extremely modular. If you have more shelves, you can add more lights to it, or if you don't need as much, you can have a smaller shelf with fewer lights. This is a fantastic system for us and what we need to grow. Let me know in the comments if this type of setup would work for you. Thanks so much for stopping by Little Acre Homestead and for subscribing, and I'll see you again very soon.